Societal expectations and pressures to be in a relationship have been a constant, but there's a significant shift happening. According to the Pew Research Center, nearly 40% of adults in the U.S. are unpartnered, a significant rise from the 29% in 1990. And about half of these individuals aren't interested in dating or a relationship. This rising trend of singlehood is challenging the traditional perception of what constitutes a fulfilling life. Researchers are beginning to understand that being single can be a choice that brings joy, independence, and self-discovery. So, is being single really that scary or odd? Or could it be an exciting path of self-discovery and personal growth? Let's delve into a personal journey that challenges these societal norms. Picture yourself in a relationship for an extensive 8-year period where it depletes more than it enriches. This was the harsh truth, a daily challenge that leaned more towards mere survival than experiencing the joys of life. It was akin to being confined within a labyrinth with no clear way out, engulfed in an unending cycle of tears, paranoia, and heartbreak. The heartbreak was the toughest to endure. Imagine investing your emotions into a relationship, exerting every bit of effort only to face repeated disappointment. It was comparable to a roller coaster ride, an exhilarating thrill that rapidly transmuted into a horrifying nightmare, a euphoric high that plummeted into a deep low, leaving an aftermath of tears. This destructive relationship was more than just a relationship. It was a cage that restricted the potential for personal growth, the ability to embrace oneself, the opportunity to discover one's capabilities. The cost of this relationship was high, not just in terms of years, but also self-worth and self-love. This phase was one of obscurity, a time when personal growth was inhibited and self-perception was distorted. Picture yourself staring into the mirror, failing to recognize the individual looking back at you. The reflection in the mirror was a mere silhouette, a representation of a life lived for another, a life that gradually losing its intrinsic value. This damaging relationship was not just a relationship. It was a life lesson, a harsh one that emphasized the value of self-love, personal growth, and individuality. It served as a stark reminder that a relationship should not be the sole determinant of one's worth or the only source of joy and fulfillment. It was indeed a phase of darkness, a period filled with struggle and heartbreak, tears and pain. However, as the saying goes, it is always darkest before the dawn. And this period of darkness paved the way for an anticipated transformation, a change that encapsulated the understanding that solitude is acceptable, that being single is fine, a transformation that initiated a journey of self-discovery, self-love, and self-fulfillment. This was a period of darkness, yet it led to a transformation that was unexpected. Jumping from one relationship into another, this time it was different, it was comfortable. The chaos and tears of the past were replaced with a sense of calm, a feeling of being at ease. This 4-year relationship was like a soothing balm after the stormy 8 years that had gone by. But as the days turned into weeks, into months, and then years, this comfortable relationship started to feel less like a sanctuary and more like a comfortable prison. Comfort, as soothing as it might be, can often be a double-edged sword. It can lull you into a sense of complacency, a state where growth is stunted and dreams are put on hold. And that's exactly what happened. The comfort of this relationship led to a job that was going nowhere, to evenings spent eating away feelings, and to a growing sense of self-dislike. It was a stark contrast to the person I once aspired to be. But the fear of being alone, the fear of being single, held me hostage. It's a fear that's all too common. and it's one that can lead to settling for less than we deserve. It can lead to staying in relationships that don't fulfill us, that don't challenge us, that don't help us grow. Because the known, no matter how unsatisfying, often feels safer than the unknown. Yet, there were moments of clarity, moments when I realized that this wasn't the life I wanted to lead. There was a world beyond this comfortable relationship, a world that held the promise of growth, of self-discovery, of happiness. But to step into that world, I had to let go of the comfort, let go of the fear of being alone. And so the decision was made. The comfortable relationship had to end. The fear had to be faced. It wasn't easy, it wasn't painless, but it was necessary. Because sometimes, to truly find ourselves, to truly live the life we want, we need to step out of our comfort zones. This comfort zone had to be disrupted, and it was. Breaking free from the chains of comfort, it was time to face the fear of being single. The journey to singlehood can seem like a daunting expedition, filled with uncertainties and self-doubt. It's like stepping into an unknown territory, where you are the map and the compass. In the early stages, the silence of solitude was deafening. The empty side of the bed was a constant reminder of the relationship that once filled that space. The fear of loneliness, of being alone in a world that often celebrates togetherness, was overwhelming. But it was this fear that sparked a decision to cut out the toxicity that had seeped into my life. It was time to sever ties with friends who weren't really friends, and relationships that drained more than they filled. It was time to say goodbye to comfort and hello to growth. The transition was not easy. It was like pulling off a Band-Aid that had been stuck on for too long. It stung, but it was necessary. It was time to face the discomfort, to challenge the fears, and to truly start living. Looking inward, I started to understand myself better. I discovered strengths I never thought I possessed, and weaknesses I never knew existed. I started to enjoy my own company, to cherish the silence that once seemed so daunting. I began to realize that being alone did not mean being lonely. I focused on personal growth, on becoming a better version of myself. I sought a high-paying job, found new streams of income, and began volunteering my time. I took solo trips and discovered the joy of traveling alone. I grew closer with my family and nurtured a few real friendships. Gradually, the fear of being single started to fade. It was replaced by a sense of freedom, a newfound confidence, and an excitement for the future. I was not just surviving, but thriving in my singlehood. Being single started to feel less like a sentence and more like an opportunity to discover, to grow, and to truly love myself. And for the first time in a long time, I was excited about the journey ahead. 3 years into singlehood, life had never been better. Let's paint a picture of the joys of being single. Imagine waking up to a day where you hold the reins. You chart your course and you alone dictate your journey. That's the beauty of singlehood. It's not about loneliness, but about embracing the freedom to be the master of your own life. In the past 3 years, I've experienced an incredible transformation. I've landed a high-paying job, something I could never have envisioned in my previous comfort zone. And it's not just about the money, it's about the satisfaction of knowing that I am capable, that I can thrive in my professional life. But it's not all work and no play. I've also found time to give back to society. Volunteering has become a key part of my life. It's a humbling, rewarding experience that has allowed me to connect with people and causes that truly matter. Traveling alone has been another eye-opening experience. The thrill of exploring new places, meeting new people, and experiencing different cultures, all on my own terms, has been liberating. It's an adventure that has taught me more about myself than I could ever have learned in a relationship. Family ties have also become stronger. The time and space that singlehood has provided has allowed me to reconnect with my loved ones. It's a bond that's grown stronger, deeper, and more meaningful. And then there's the newfound love for myself. I've learned to enjoy my own company, to nurture my inner self. I've cut out toxic friendships, and even though I have fewer friends, I'm happier. I've learned to value quality over quantity. In these 3 years, I've discovered that being single is not a sentence of loneliness, but a celebration of self-love, self-growth, and self-discovery. It's about finding joy in solitude, about embracing independence, and about realizing that it's okay to be alone. This is the story of transformation, of realizing that it's okay, even wonderful, to be single. Being single is not about loneliness, it's about self-discovery, self-love, and growth. As we've journeyed through this narrative, we've seen that singlehood isn't a state to dread, but rather a season ripe with opportunities. It's a time to heal from past wounds, to learn, to grow, to find joy in solitude, and to embrace who you truly are. Singlehood isn't a curse, but a blessing in disguise. It's a chance to break free from toxic patterns, to build fresh streams of income, to foster healthy relationships, to explore the world on your own terms. It's a time to fall in love with yourself, to cultivate self-compassion, and to set the stage for future relationships that honor your worth. So, relish this time. Seek growth, chase dreams. Cultivate relationships that uplift you. Be your own hero. And remember, it's okay to be single. It's okay to be you.